Force tired.
The Force is what gives the Jedi his power.
Why is the Force connected?
I am a Jedi. Always do, there are.
We're a dyad in the Force.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Force Diet Podcast, a Star Wars show covering the latest and greatest from the core worlds to the outer rim. If Star Wars is your space, we are your place. We are honored that you've joined us. I'm your host, Obi-Shawn, and on today's episode, I'm joined by not one, but two guests to go over episode 4 of The Bad Batch, A Different Approach. I'm joined by the Master, Jedi John. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing good. How's it going?
Good, good. And you and I are joined tonight by a friend of the show. He's been on once before, but that is Keith, a.k.a. BrickinAintEasy. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, how's it going? Still pixelating over here.
Buffering. We're buffering. The beauties of technology. So yeah, no, yeah. We're good. We're good. We're here to talk a little Bad Batch. So, but like we did last week, right? We're recording on a Monday night. So, did you all have good weekends?
Keith, we'll go to you first.
Yeah.
I guess I should throw to somebody. I'm not very good at this multi-hosting thing.
Yeah, I'll go. My wife and my fraternity brother's 2 wives went to the city game, so it was like a girls' game. And I brought the dog over to our friend Sean Tobin's house, and we had our dog meet their dog, who's a Swedish mountain dog. He's like 1 year old and about 110 pounds already. And she got to interact with kids for the first time and play around, and she's been tired for 2 days since. So
that was a good game. That was a good game to watch.
Yeah.
Sammy scoring another goal. That guy should play the entire. They should never sub him out. He should be always in the starting 11. And because dude is just a ball of energy. He's so good. So, John, you good weekend?
I worked for all of it, so yeah, it was a great weekend. Totally fine. Friday through Sunday, just worked, and I mixed in. We had a good time on Sunday. Got the kid out with you and your son. We got to experience our first bowling tournament together.
Yes.
So
it's good.
Oh man, how'd that go?
Was an interesting. It was an interesting format. You see, the kids got to lead off each frame. Not just each frame. You got to alternate throws. So if the kids would have gotten a strike, which neither one of our kids did, we would have got to throw the first ball for a strike. But since they didn't throw any strikes, we were just picking up the garbage all day for each frame. So it was very interesting leaves all day. I think I saw Sean attempt an impossible split. I also saw Sean pick a split I've also never seen left before. So, it's interesting. It was a very interesting day. But it was fun overall, and we had a good time.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It's also rapid fire. I don't know if Sean knows.
Yeah, it was a lot quicker pace than I had expected, although I expect nothing less from either of our children who all they want to do is just go. They don't want to actually wait their turn. But it was I enjoyed that. It took me till game 3 to realize that Connor was putting his fingers in the ball wrong, which may have helped things earlier in the game. But honestly, if he had struck, I don't know if me throwing that hand-me-down ball would have yielded any better results than what we got. So, no, it was fun. As I told Kara, every good totem pole needs a base, which we were. We were the bottom. So, but it was good to get out there with the kids and spend some time with them like that. That was fun.
Were the bumpers on the lanes at all?
Oh, yeah. It was bumper bowling. And I'm not going to lie, I used it a couple times for my spares. No shame. It got me the angle I needed.
Hey, that's fair. Way to battle through adversity. I'm proud of you.
Yes. Yeah, it was good. So I along with the bowling, I also attempted to play golf on Saturday. And I say attempted because I had quite possibly the worst round I've had in probably 8 years. So I shot a 112 think I lost probably 11 or 12 balls. I found probably 8 or 9, so net -3. But yeah, rough day on the golf course, but got sunburnt, so got something to take home from a morning getting my butt kicked.
You could have walked outside for 15 minutes and got
I was gonna
sunburned,
say.
so.
It took 5.5 hours to play a round of golf on Saturday. It was terrible. But anyways, what's that?
When did they kick you out of Sweden around Funtown?
I think after my 12th slushie. I think that's when they kicked me out. So
Third go-kart ride.
we were having such a rough go of it that the lady at the bar was giving out free shots to our golf group. She was feeling sorry for us. So rail tequila for everyone.
Yeah. What course did you play?
Peevely Farms.
Awesome.
Which was in good shape.
That course.
Honestly, it was in good shape for, beginning of March. And in about 6 weeks, it'll be, real nice. It was still dead in a lot of space, spots, but overall, the greens rolled really well for how early in the season it is. So, and you can't complain about playing golf on the 2nd of March in 80-degree weather. So, not going to complain about that. So. But yeah, so good weekends all around, and now we're here to talk Bad Batch. We've got episode 4, a different approach, and real quick rundown of the episode. We pick back up with Omega and Crosshair, hurtling through hyperspace in their only slightly damaged shuttle. At which point they are thrust out of hyperspace and just so happen upon a planet called Lau, I think, or Lau, L-A-U. However you say that. I'm just going to say Lau.
Wow, yeah.
And so they crash land on it. It has a very sort of crystalline appearance to the planet's surface, kind of reminding me in ways of like parts of Mandalore that had kind of like that crystalline structure. Of course, it's very cold, naturally, on this planet. So they hike into town, and while that's taking place, we get a visit from Hemlock to Nalisay's cell, right? Where he's like putting the pieces together, like, oh, these two happen to escape, and it just so happens, this is the first time her blood has tested well, despite testing it every day. Nalisay tries to play that off, of course, as a false positive, which is a thing in experimentations, right? Of course, but we all know this to be a lie, and yeah, Hemlock gives the. We're not so certain how we're not so sure how certain your future is, which is a nice, not so veiled threat. Pick back up with Crosshair and Omega. They end up stealing some clothes. Think that the spaceport's their best way out. Try to bribe the spaceport attendant and find out it's going to cost them 30,000 credits, of which they have none to do so. Find a cantina, and it's at this point that Crosshair gets to kind of see some of the skills that Omega has developed over their time apart, and she takes on, I guess, a local Trandoshan in a new game, which I actually thought it was Sabak, only to find out it was a totally different game called Balins, something like that, which is a brand new game that the writers or the creators of Bad Batch made just for this episode, which is pretty cool. The Wikipedia entry for this game is actually pretty neat. It's got like spell cards, and it's like a weird version of like Magic meets something else, it looks like. But anyways, she ends up playing off against one of the Imperial officers, beats him, but in the process, Batcha gets stolen and taken to wherever they house exotic animals. It's like
Tiger King's lair.
I was just about to say the what was his name? Joe
Exotic.
Thank you. It was Joe Exotic's home for exotic pets is what it was. But yeah, so naturally, instead of escaping with the 30,000 credits they had, Omega has to go and rescue the Lurca hound, which naturally gets them into a bit of a pickle, as the officer knew that they would, or the captain knew that they would come for the hound, as he affectionately called her. And it's at this point that Omega allows Crosshair to be Crosshair. And, well, they're able to escape. Once they've escaped, they put out the APB to the Bad Batch, to the rest of the Bad Batch, Wrecker and Hunter. And upon the moon above Ryloth, where they went in season 1, we get to witness the reunion of Omega with her lost brothers. So pretty quick episode. I think it was like 27 minutes total runtime, and that included the entrant, the opening and the credits. So I think it was like a 25-minute episode, so pretty short. So, John, your sort of thoughts on the episode initially?
It was all right. I mean, it was all right. That's all I got. I mean, I to be honest, I really did not want them to catch up to the other Bad Batch members this quick in the season, so I just feel like it wasn't enough time. We're 4 episodes. That's it. That's all we got separately. But then again, I also didn't want a week to week. What are Crosshair and Omega doing this week? So it's like a 50-50. Like it's all right. I mean, we need the episode to happen. I could have done without the brand new game that Disney wants to sell. And then and then she finally let Cross, like it was both like giving into each other, right? So Crosshair gave into Omega, just like we watched the rest of the Batch members give into her last season in certain instances where she was successful. And then she would revert back to their skill sets later on in episodes. So that happened a couple times last season between Tech and Wrecker. So yeah, I don't know. Overall, I mean, I don't know. It's probably the worst, like my lowest rating of the season so far. So,
Keith,
Sure.
What about you, Keith?
Yeah, I was a little bit more bright-eyed, bushy-tailed after watching it. When I went to the group chat, and I was just like, oh, very emotional. But it kind of caught me in the right moment, this thing after that last episode, and then all the time that went by, having their reunion, the way the animation was, and the way Omega's emotions were, I thought that was very well displayed. Kind of going into, you kind of saw Crosshair and Omega's relationship, and I think Omega, kind of like what John was saying, really brought Crosshair's individuality back out, especially after he's been a broken man, as we've seen him the last episode, and this whole episode he's complaining the whole time. I mean, everywhere they go he just complains, and then finally, he's ready to do it his way and help Omega and get Batcher back. But I thought it was interesting too, like you said, with the new trading card game that we'll probably all get first editions of, having that Imperial officer, Captain Man. I mean, they really displayed a sleazeball pretty good in this episode. I mean, we haven't really seen, this guy obviously sounds like he maybe had fell from grace and ended up in this random planet, kind of being a little, like I say, like local crime lord, and taking a cut of everything, especially after he lets Omega, or not lets, after Omega defeats him in that game, and then he's like, all right, I'm not going to punish her, but I'm going to take my cut for it.
You gotta pay the fine, because gambling's illegal.
Yeah,
Gambling's illegal in these parts, yet we've all just been party to it. So yeah, it's back to what you're saying about Crosshair, about him kind of going along with Omega. I almost feel like he recognizes he doesn't have a choice, right? And it's probably like the first time that he's not been in. Obviously, he's been sort of a prisoner, so he's not been in control, right? But prior to that, right, he and the rest of the guys were the ones that making the rules. Hey, you're gonna do it this way, this way, this way, and now he's taking a back seat to her, you know, and quite possibly the rest of the crew. You know, that stands to be seen. But it was interesting, you know, that I'm gonna go after Batcher, which of course she is. Like, I'm gonna be honest. When that happened, I rolled my eyes. I'm like, can you just do the normal thing for once? Like, just go and
Bleeding heart.
just escape. Like, you don't have to, it's, yeah. But of course, it's her. It's what she does. She cares, and it's her character, so it's on brand and it makes sense. But I just rolled my eyes at it. But you can see Crosshair doing the exact same thing that most of us are doing. Like, we have the money. Why are we not escaping? And as if that Omega knew that this was the way to get a ship to get to the guys sooner. But you can see his resignation in the moment. Like, she has the money, first of all, right? She's got it in her little satchel, so he can't go anywhere. He is beholden to her, this little kid, and he has no power. And so it's one of those moments where, like, the kid gets the one up on the adult. And the first time the kid beats the parent in something, right? It's almost kind of like you got that with Crosshair.
It's never the side you want to be on. It's the worst.
No, right.
I always thought it was interesting too. Like, you know, where it's alluding to her Omega being force sensitive, but I think she's using those powers to become very good at gambling.
I want to know where she learned the game. Like, Sabac's one thing, right? And now you have this brand new game, and that she is incredibly adept at immediately.
I imagine she played multiple strategy games in the bar previously. I mean, she was around all those guys that were gamblers the entire time in season 1. So,
but
yeah, she pretty much grew up there.
That's true. That's true. It's the thing that I failed to wrap my head around, because I'm almost a literal thinker, is this game was literally invented for this, right? So in a way, it doesn't exist prior to this in canon, technically, right? And so it's just like, wow, she is, and again, maybe it comes from her alterations as a, you know, modified clone. She can just watch what's happening and, like, almost like a photographic memory, like just pick it up and be like a savant, right? She's like Rain Man in a way.
You know, Anakin had never finished a pod race either.
That's true. So what you're saying is it's plot driven, is what you're saying.
Merchandising.
But I mean, okay, so to merchandise, do either of you have a Sabacc set? Because I don't.
I don't, but I totally would if I, you know, thought I would be able to play it ever. I would.
I would learn how to play it, and then we'd probably, you know, on a board game night, figure to bust it out. And then I'd probably get yelled at by Sean going, "This is first edition. Don't open it." You know how much that card
if you
worth?
had like that one person with you that were like, "I'll play Sabacc."
It's on the wall.
Yeah.
It's just on display. We shall never. It's like open in case of emergency. My first edition Sabacc set. So
You just play them in top loaders the entire time.
So Keith, you're saying that or sorry, Brickin. I'm just gonna call you Keith. I know you're Brickin. I'm just gonna call you Keith. You were saying that the ending kind of hit you like, what about the ending? Because I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm kind of the same mindset as John a little bit. You know, we kind of talked about this, but what about the ending, I guess, hit you in the feels?
Yeah, so like right away when I watched it, I thought the way the music was scored, I think that the music has been outstanding this whole series.
Agreed.
But you have you know, Omega's theme playing, and then Crosshair's kind of say mysterious score at the end there. But the way that they panned, and you could just see Omega tearing up, and just how much that she was able to finally find Hunter and Wrecker, and how much Wrecker, her brothers, Wrecker and her's relationship throughout the series too. I think it just all hit me at once, just leading up to that point, just kind of getting, okay, she's found her family. She can have somewhat kind of a sense of normalcy back. Was it last episode or the episode before that when they were with those cadets in the shuttle, and you look up and see the little stuffed animal, and that's Omega's home. It's like it's her room, her bed, and just kind of seeing all that come back together. It was a good emotional moment. Now, kind of sitting back from that, which I'm sure you guys will probably hint at too. Does it feel a little rushed? Possibly. With this being the last season of the series, will it be doing a Game of Thrones last season where they just, let's finish up and wrap up a storyline and everything just doesn't make sense? I hope not. We're going to probably be at risk at that a little bit with closing loopholes and probably Filoni setting up the next moneymaker. But I think there's still a story to be told. I don't think we're going to need all these Soldier of Fortune scavenger missions every other episode. But I really hope that they dig into, obviously Project Necromancer, and then just how Rex got to retirement. That'd be nice to see.
Yeah, for me, so like I said, I kind of in the same boat as John in that I did feel like it was abrupt, the reunion, because you had said you weren't emotionally. You had texted the group chat and you're like, I wasn't emotionally ready for that ending or something along those lines, right? And
I thought Crosshair was dying.
I thought someone died. I totally thought someone was dying, and I was like sitting there and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and then they escape, and I was like,
I thought Crosshair was gonna get shot in the back after he boarded the frickin' ship. I'm like, totally here it is. That. This is what's gonna happen.
I totally thought that too. And then they get on the ship and they fly away. And I'm like, okay, all right, so he didn't die. And then of course they land and you see the ship, and I'm like, is it a trap? Is it? I think I was more in shock that, and not like shock, like, oh my god, but I was surprised at how soon they were reunited. Like I almost pegged it maybe for a next episode, because 6 and 7 is a double drop. So I thought, okay, we get the reunion in 5, and we get the shebang in 6 and 7. Like whatever's kind of like the initial light to the powder keg for the back half of the seasons come in 6 and 7, and we'll get the crew then. And so they land, and of course, it's what it is. It's a wholesome reunion. It's it's emotional, and it was. I thought the thing that was most interesting was the very end. Right, you get the standoff, right, and you almost wonder. I think it's at this point probably that Crosshair is going to recognize that Tech is not there. Hopefully we actually see that, like see him recognizing or learning that Tech is dead, and then processing that, right? But you get the standoff, right? You get the three of them versus him, and he's the outcast, right? He has been since season 1, and there's no trust. And are they just going to bring him back into the fold? Can it be repaired? It's funny because I just finished Dark Disciple, and one of the big takeaways from that book, and it's fitting that of course Asajj will be in this at some point, is that it doesn't matter how far from the path you've strayed, there's always a right choice to make to bring you back, right? Like you can one can always be saved or redeemed, right? We see that with Anakin. We see that at different points throughout Star Wars. Of course, Dark Disciple has that arc in it, and I feel like we're getting that we will be getting that here with with the Bad Batch, where Crosshair left. He's made all these decisions. He's end of last season, he shoots his Imperial officer because they've left the clones for dead, and he's starting to come back around, and the group will come back together. So, from that perspective, like, I didn't feel like sad emotionally, but like I can understand that kind of emotional grab with, I think Crosshair's finally starting to realize what he was giving up, or what he had lost. So it'll be interesting to see what the group does as far as bringing him back into the fold. So
he slowly turned into Vin Diesel.
There's always room for family. So,
yeah, because didn't y'all one of your past episodes? Whose prediction was it that they'd be spending the whole season inside of Mount Tantiss?
I think both John and I thought that they were gonna like cross streams, and then they were gonna have to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can kind of see that where, it's like, oh, yep, and we're gone, and off to the next one. Because it's, I don't want to jump to predictions, but, the trailer and Asajj and that mysterious assassin's clone, I wonder now Hemlock's gonna, scrounge up a bunch of bounty hunters, and then they're gonna go start searching for the Bad Batch. So we'll get to kind of see some familiar faces like Asajj, Cad Bane, and we run into Fennec, and she's probably trying to help the Bad Batch. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we can do predictions now that they're back together. I mean, it's now that everybody's reunited, right? You got to figure out what happens with Crosshair, like I just said, and now they keep running. Where do they run to? Right? Do they run back to Pabu? Is this where they get reunited with Fee? And then are they continuing to run jobs for people while they're being hunted down? It's just, again, as we discussed in our prediction episode, it's all leading up to this showdown on Tantiss. At the end, I think. John, I don't know if you think that as well, but yeah, like the bounty hunters are going to show up before too long. But to what capacity they're doing the hunting, where they're doing the hunting, where they're chasing them to, that's obviously remains to be seen. When do we get Echo and Rex back? I think we're probably going to get them either next episode or in 6 and 7. I'm trying to remember what the names of the episodes are. I had them at one point, and then I forgot what they were. But I don't know if IMDb's got them listed here for me. Maybe, perhaps they can be helpful. Yeah, the return.
Definitely not Return of Tech.
Well, the return is episode 5 is the return, and then episode 6 and 7 is infiltration and extraction. So the question is, what are they infiltrating and what are they extracting? Are they extracting something from Mount Tantiss? Are they extracting Nalse? What's worth saving? Like, now that they're together, who is worth saving, or who's worth rescuing?
It's gotta be Nalase, and just because Omega has that soft spot, it's gonna be your sister.
God, I hope it's not Emery. I don't think it's Emery.
Oh yeah.
I feel like there's multiple. I feel like there's multiple Emerys. Did anybody else get that?
I think there is too, but I think she's gonna try because her heart is just attached because Emery's different.
Yeah, Emery turned in her blood sample and said this was fine.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, she sounds like
she
a
was
real
just doing
winner.
her job.
Real team player.
Just doing her job.
Team player.
Just doing her job. She didn't know Nalase was getting rid of them all. Honestly, I think that I think the biggest thing, they're probably going to go save like some of the clones, like any imprisoned current clones not on Mount Tantiss, other places like could be like former officers that have been in prison somewhere, or at a one of their experimental sites or whatever. Like they've got all kinds of them. Like we visited one last year or last season, and then you still have guys like Commander Cody's still out there, technically not part of the Resistance yet, as far as we know. So
Yeah,
I
Wolf's out there
imagine
too.
yeah, I imagine there's other clone big players, so to speak, that we find out they're in captive, and the Bad Batch finds out and needs to go based on intel from Rex, Echo, whoever else.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's good. That's good thoughts. So for the episode, real quick, ratings, John. What do you rate this episode for you?
6.5.
Okay. Keith?
Stick to my original rating. Give it about an 8.
Okay. Yeah,
Really
I would be.
high, I know.
I'd probably be in that. Did you say 8.5?
Oh, I said it's really high as an 8.
Oh, high. Yeah, I'm probably in that 7 to like 7.5, so like 7.3. The end was really, I think, the highlight. But I think if you look at it from as like Crosshair getting to see what Omega's become after he gave her such a hard time in the early days, maybe you get like an extra couple points. But
I don't have a heart, so.
So let's see here. So let's let's switch here real quick. All right, we're gonna skadoosh. All right, so we got out of 990 trusted IMDb ratings scale, 995 ratings, 7.9 out of 10 actually from IMDb.
Oh wow!
So
Interesting.
which is rather high, honestly, for IMDb.
I made it like 900 different accounts and rated it.
You would set up the bot accounts.
Yeah.
I am surprised because it almost, outside of the ending, it was really a filler
Oh no!
episode.
You said the words, John. You said the words.
I know.
a
I don't
bottle.
consider it a filler necessarily, but I'm just saying, like, not a lot happened.
True.
Saying-
True.
I
Except
think
the
character-
reunion.
And the character development, I
Right.
think, really hit home.
So real quick, there were 7 user reviews, so not a ton of user reviews. And as expected, they're kind of mixed. You've got a couple people who are like 10 out of 10. This is the most amazing thing known to man. And then you've got 1 out of 10, grumpy uncle and annoying child, the filler episode. So
You write that, John?
You found me. Yeah. You done found me.
So, but this episode did make, so when I was on the Hyperspace podcast with those guys, Brown Leader said something about, and he called Omega the MacGuffin, and it's what I've called Grogu, right? Like for Mandalorian. And it was this episode, granted there was episode, I think it was episode 1 or 2 in season 2 where they were stealing the money from Dooku's palace. And I'm like, if she doesn't do this, then they don't get stuck in a, cargo container hanging off the edge of a cliff, right? And same thing in this episode, right? They could have just as easily turned around and gone to the spaceport. Now maybe they don't meet up with the gang after, as a result of that immediately, but because they chase Batcher, Crosshair gets to shoot people again. He gets his feeling back, right? He gets rid of the jitters, or he gets used to the jitters, and then
I think it would have been so much more impactful for her to just grow up and be like, that animal doesn't matter. We're leaving.
Yeah.
and that's where John's heart went. That's when he left that's when the heart left him. So, I mean, we were all thinking it. We were all thinking it.
It's all good. No. I mean, like you said, it was on brand for her. It just could have been, maybe some Crosshair rubbing off on her.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah.
Yeah, like that.
He's
edge.
still one of my favorite. He's still one of my favorite members. So I mean, I know it's gonna come through. So
You're just happy he's back. You're just sad that you know he's gonna die at some point.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And both of our characters will have bit the dust at some point in this season, or this
I'm not surprised.
this show. So, all right. So last thoughts on the episode before we move on. Anything, John?
I'm good.
Okay, Keith.
Did you hear the porg?
Did I hear the porg? No. I saw a bunch of emus run away from a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but I didn't see anything else.
Yeah. So when they did that whole exotic market scene, you could hear some different creatures, and I remember that silly little porg, and I'm like, oh great, you had to include it.
I wish I had Connor's little toy porg that you guys got him from Disney right now, John, because I'd play that and I would just put it into the microphone just for Keith to enjoy.
That's such a little cool toy. It's just like it's a magnet that sits on your shoulder. I'm like,
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it makes porg sounds on command.
It's your best friend.
It's porg, P-O-R-G, for those hard of hearing.
Yeah, it's like when you give your nephews train whistles. I'm not allowed at some family dinners for a while. the wooden train whistles. It's like, oh yeah, I'll babysit them. Oh, what'd you get today, Henry? Train whistle. Perfect.
The best gift ever.
Yeah.
It's like that bottle cap shooter.
Bottle cap shooter. All things to get.
Every 3-year-old needs a bottle cap shooter, John.
Absolutely not.
All right. So with that, we'll close the Bad Batch discussion. Should be the start to a good rest of the season. Real quick toy talk. We did get 5 new Lego sets dropping on March 1st. We got the smaller buildable R2-D2, the Tantive hallway diorama scene, and then 3 new midi-scale ships with the Tantive 4, the Millennium Falcon, and the Invisible Hand. Now, Keith, you being the purveyor of Lego, as am I, although I think you're getting to add to your collection a bit more frequently than I am. You picked up one of these sets. Would you share with the lovely listeners what it is you bought?
Yeah, so I got the Boarding the Tantive 4 set. The retail on it was $54.99 USD. So kind of just showing it for the screen here, but so this is the infamous hallway scene as we see in episode 4, as well as Rogue One at the end there. What's nice about this is, back in the day, we all made shoebox dioramas for class, and this is something that I thought kind of reminded me of that classic diorama. As you can see, the hallway scene is set up and it uses some Technic pieces. Sorry, as you can hear, I guess, for those who aren't watching. But how this is set up is you have the door will swivel open on the back side here, and Vader makes his menacing entrance there. And you have Captain Wedge Antilles, some Rebel troopers, and stormtroopers. I modified this with the little brick that's from Lego Agents, and it just bought it for the alarm sound, but it's from there for display. But I mean, this I thought for $55 it was a pretty decent set, and you can buy multiples of these to make a even larger diorama. Now, I wouldn't do it justice without mentioning that with this 25th anniversary set, this is one of the sets that comes with a 25th anniversary minifigure. And this one, for example, is ARC Trooper 5s. So you get the 25 years of Lego brick with this, and then
is it just a generic clone head, new clone head?
So
he's got his spinach chin. He's got his goatee.
And then he has 5s right there on the head.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna focus or not.
I believe you. I believe it's there.
Yeah.
The body print doesn't look terrible. The helmet is like
atrocious.
Horrible.
Yeah, and this collar kind of reminds me of the collars in that Will Smith movie Wild Wild West.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, they've really gotten away from it. It does. It actually looks just like that.
I don't know. The pauldrons, I mean, I see what they're going for, but I wish they had some shape to them. It should have been more like the. It should have been more shaped.
They used to have
Oh.
pauldrons like that. Back in the good old day. Do I have my
Helmet holes.
I do.
Helmet holes.
Got my Captain Rex with the
Yeah.
amazing pauldron. They used to have amazing pauldrons for these things, and now
Yeah.
they make a lot of noise.
Yeah. So, yeah, and that to his point too. Like, this is the other 25th anniversary fig that comes with the R2D2 set, 75379. That retails for $100. It's Dark Mount. So,
And where is your buildable R2D2 set, Keith?
Mexico.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Still in the box, Sean.
No, I know.
Yeah,
it's a late night build, but yeah, that's like what the pauldrons
Yeah.
used to look like. They look so much better.
Yeah.
What a waste.
No, I agree. So yeah, I mean, with the midi-scale set, I think they're calling it like the Starship
Collection,
series.
I think. Starship Collection, I think, yeah.
So they'll be kind of limited to what we see come out in midi-scale, which is unfortunate. I was kind of sad to see the helmet series go, but you know, how long does it have to run kind of deal. I have behind me all of them besides Commander Cody. I still need to get that one built, but I really did enjoy that series. And midi-scale, I mean, we get to have a Millennium Falcon at an affordable price, which is awesome. And you know, I think the Tantive will display well, and the visible hand looks really cool. So, yeah, those are exciting. I don't know if you want me to show kind of. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, you can. While you're doing that,
yeah.
I was gonna say the thing that I wish we would have gotten is that what do you got there?
Oh,
No,
sorry.
Is that the custom Malik?
So this is custom Malik versus the official one here. So, actually, like the custom.
Yeah,
one a little
custom
better.
one looks really nice actually. That headpiece looks solid.
Yeah. So this is printed on all Lego bricks. Obviously, the mouthpiece and the saber hilt are custom.
Is that a Big Kid Bricks one?
This one was, yes.
Yeah, he makes really good customs.
So
His Admiral Trench custom fig is ridiculously cool. Anybody who's into custom Lego, be sure to. I mean, there's no affiliation here, but Big Kid Bricks makes amazing custom figs. How you had there your Dave Filoni.
yeah, this is a Bagels guy out of Australia. I have like a whole customs wall up here, but here's one I wanted to show. This is Captain Rex as a knight.
Knight of the Round Table.
Yep. Maybe for a custom figure,
It's pretty cool.
That is cool.
super fun.
I
They
do
even
enjoy
have on-
crossing genres. So
Yeah, I mean,
pretty
this
sweet.
little cape has the etch marks.
Well, and you're a Lego Castle fan, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought it was a nice little touch. Sean can probably knows what these two are here.
It's Yularen and Rex. Sexy Rexy.
Mexican Yularen and Mexican.
Oh, it's Mexi
Rex.
Rexy? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the Venator figs, right?
Yeah. So, John, these are the minifigures out of that $650 Venator.
And for reference, as a point of reference,
yeah.
here's
skipped that one.
the comparable. So here's the old P2 Rex.
Yeah, which that PT Rex is far superior than this one. Helmet holes? Are you kidding me?
helmet holes.
He needs that rangefinder.
And too, like the pauldron is just
Double
so bulky.
rangefinder.
And then the bag. So these unfortunately were mass produced from Mexico, Lego Mexico. So this is how I got these through Whatnot. But yeah.
Yeah. So will you be picking up any of the midi scale ships?
Yeah, I think I will. Cause I still haven't built the Tantive for the playset, so I think I'm gonna get that one and the Millennium Falcon and maybe the Invisible Hand. I'm not really sold on that one, even though it looks really cool. I think Falcon and the hand of the Tantive 4 would be my top two, because I can actually display those in the office.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I wish the Invisible Hand was a larger set. Like, I wish it came out as either like $100 playset, or heck, I would take a UCS version of it, because that's the one. Like, you get no separatist ships. Like, give me a buzz. You know what would be cool is a buzz droid, or not a buzz droid, but a trident, a tri starship. That'd be a cool one to build. What do you got there? Oh, that's a Bad Batch. Yeah. Custom.
Yeah.
Are those the custom ones, or are those the ones from the Justifier set?
Yeah, these are the official ones.
Yeah. You have that
So-
one, don't you, John? The Justifier?
Yeah, John does.
Or no, it wouldn't be the Justifier. Sorry, it's the
Justifier.
It's
It's the shuttle off to my back left.
why can't I think of the
shoulder.
shuttle? Why can't I think of the shuttle's name? Help me, someone. Help.
I don't know. It's behind us. It's set 75314.
I know exactly what the ship is. I mean, it's in the Bad Batch every week. I just can't think of the dang name.
The Marauder.
So-
There it is.
The
It's
Marauder. Yep, the
Thank
Marauder.
you.
Oh, okay. Oh no, tech fell. Oops.
Dude, stop it. Why? You guys, you two, for those listening who've listened this far, these two are relentless in their mockery of me and my adoration for tech. So,
Hey, real quick, didn't he die?
son of a, you are mean. You are so mean. I mean,
Whoa,
I don't know.
what's that
I
above
guess
me?
I guess technically I don't know yet. We haven't figured that one out, to be fair. But I suspect he has. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
right.
I can't believe that they added him into that promotional poster for this episode. I was really mad about that.
Oh, look, your little Omega and her Gonk droid. That's adorable. How do you think the reunion between Omega and Gonk will go? Do you think that there will be as much, emotion for Gonk as there was for Wrecker and Hunter?
Oh, Omega, she sees somebody one time on a random bus stop, and then see her 5 years later and want to save them. So
Fair enough.
an inanimate object that, well, he's not inanimate, but a power droid that has one function, she's gonna want to move heaven and earth for.
Indeed. So yeah, so there's. So
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean, this is gone off the rails. It's fantastic. This is the kind of just general discussion that makes things fun. But you've got so you got the 5 sets.
Yeah, they all, like you said, release March 1st.
Yeah.
No really new rumors on anything in summer. I'm sure they'll probably come out May.
Yeah, the May the 4th sets will be.
April.
Well, I'm sure we'll get more news on May the 4th sets here before too long. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for more information on the 5 sets that just released, be sure to check out the article I wrote at Dork Side of the Force, where I previewed all five sets, for a comprehensive look at the new builds. John, any toy news from you, or you tapped out this episode?
Yeah, they are. They haven't made anything new since the last time I covered Black Series Vintage Collection stuff. I will say that they've got lots of stuff on sale on the Hasbro website.
Everything must
only-
go.
Like I said, some of the things just didn't sell very well, or didn't clear out from pre-order aspect. But at this point, you can go on there and find pretty much some clearance prices on a lot of figures that you may be interested in if they're, over the previous release old. So if there's, between 4 and 6 months old, they might be on clearance already. Which means I can buy more action figures. So
You can get them at a discount.
I mean, if I'm gonna pay $16 instead of $25, that's not. That's cheaper than I used to buy regular figs at. So yeah, I will take that. I'm also but looking at some of them, there's still an Omega on there with the mercenary gear for $25. I'm like, it's a half size figure, so I'm not interested in that.
Right.
Anywho, but yeah, pretty good stuff though.
Wonderful. Okay, well, we'll kind of bring. Oh, what do you got there? Last little bit of toy thing. What do you got there? Where's that? Oh, are you dropping him again? You just closed it out with another dropping of tech. Thank you. Thank you for that painful image.
How far did he fall? Did you look up that distance?
No, I haven't looked that up. I don't want to think about it.
Let's create an amateur sketch. That was about 3 feet. You know.
Is that the scale?
Yeah. I think it's a 1/32 scale.
1/1000 scale.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're so. All right.
I'll mail this to you, Sean. Sorry, buddy.
Appreciate you. All right. So with that, we're gonna start to wrap it up. I want to thank Keith for joining us tonight. It was a lot of fun having you on. Appreciate you jumping on. Hope you had a lot of fun with us this evening.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. Anything you want to tell listeners about? I know you're one of the things they may not know about you is you're involved with the 501st. So I didn't know if there was any troop thing coming up that you wanted to share. If there's anything you want to publicize.
Yeah, I mean the big thing is I'm not going to be able to go to it, but Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City, we will be there at 70th Explorers. So at the time of this recording, and March, if you're out in the Kansas City area, come say hi to us at Planet City Comic Con. So
wonderful,
nice,
good stuff. Want to thank you all for listening. If you made it this far, be sure to follow or subscribe to the show, leave a rating or review, and link up with us on social media. Be sure to check the show notes for links to our social channels, and if you have things you'd like to hear in the future, be sure to slide into our DMs. Check out the back catalog of episodes where you're sure to find something you'll enjoy and share us with your friends. Join us, and together we will rule the galaxy. Like we have the last few episodes, we'll leave you with this nugget of wisdom. It seems on point for the reunion episode we got this week, which is to love is to trust, and to trust is to believe. With that, we're going to bring this episode to close. So for Jedi John and for BrickinAintEasy, I'm Obi-Sean, and until next time,
may the Force be with you.